Dire wave.
3.
Our anthropology is not derived by human psychology or, empirical data from MIT or something like this. It's derived from the revealed aspect of what we see in Christology. And so there's no real way to diagnose man's problem and to understand man and man's anthropology, as I said, without the right theology. Logos is the icon of the Father, and man is the icon of God. We are the image of God.
Dire wave.
3.
welcome everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. This is the first time we think we've done a Thanksgiving broadcast. Have we done a Thanksgiving show?
Not that I recall. Are we too red? Is that really red?
You're simply red.
It's Charlie red. I guess it doesn't look too bad on the replay. It looks really red. It's a red Thanksgiving. And I'm thankful I do not live in...
We're secret commies.
Blade Runner days.
We are almost at Blade Runner days.
Blade Runner days. What else? Equilibrium days.
Yeah, we will not necessarily be going in the order that they go chronologically. I did list the right order, if you're wondering.
But it's...
Although I can't see it.
They're all in the same time period. Yep. We are in the 2049s of our Dystopia movie, Gigantic Spectacular. Right? How many have we done so far?
This is, I think, episode 4, so we've done about, 6 or 7 movies on each one, 8.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like 32 dystopian movies that we...
That's a lot of dystopia, but we are finding patterns, right?
Yeah, and what's the century that we start with? 2049, Blade Runner?
Yeah.
And then tonight's show ends with, what did I say? Total Recall in 2084.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the math on that? What's 84 minus 49? I don't know, somewhere like a few tens.
Half a century, let's say.
Yeah, whatever those. Somebody get your Casio watch out, punch it up.
Did you?
I don't know how the numbers work.
Have good meals today?
Well, my meals are always meats, so anytime there's meats, it's good meals, unless it's rotted meat or potted meat
or
salted,
smeat
or smeat,
yeah,
or salted meat or sorted meat,
spam.
Exactly. Blade Runner, the sequel. What year did it come out? 2017. This was better than I expected. You always worry when a really good movie, classic, gets its new sequel. You're like, oh. And it wasn't as bad as I expected. Certainly not as good as Blade Runner, but it still has some interesting things. They reuse a lot of things. A lot of sequels just don't go anywhere. They just redo, copy and paste.
Ghostbusters, we have to do a Ghostbusters show, but that annoyed me about Ghostbusters. They just reused the same old characters.
If you want to enjoy movies again, just go with really low expectations, and then the mediocre movies actually surprise you.
If you really, really like the original one, you'll kind of like the new one.
Yeah. Yes. The ending was kind of cheesy. I guess I don't mind another shocker spoiler. Well, this doesn't give anything away, but another Gozer interaction.
Oh, yeah.
Are you a god?
All the same tricks and tropes as the first one.
Are you a sequel?
Instead of a giant marshmallow man, they had
Tiny
lots of
marshmallow
tiny
man.
marshmallow. But that is digress into Ghostbusters. And we're not talking about that.
So Blade Runner 2049, and just like Blade Runner 2019, didn't exactly get LA right with one giant megacity.
Yeah.
It kind of did with other elements.
I mean, if we're going to have these giant structures, we better get busy because these things are massive. And I don't think you can have this in 2049.
No.
You need to get cracking on these. Well, China has a bunch of those, which we'll talk about.
I was going to say, yeah, which when we get to Dredd. And Dredd was fun. I don't know if Dredd will be in the part 1 or part 2, but all of these in this recent installment have their unique elements that other ones don't have. Even Equilibrium, which is kind of a mix of a bunch of dystopian novels and The Matrix, just put it into a blender. And it's not as bad as I remembered it being. I remembered it being just really bad. The ending's kind of bad, but it's still watchable. It's
what are you
still
talking
fun.
about?
Equilibrium.
Oh, okay.
Just rambling through them.
Okay, so yeah, Blade Runner, Equilibrium, Dredd.
All right, let's get to Blade Runner.
Surrogates and Children of Men. Okay, Blade Runner has a Moses Revolution theme, doesn't it?
Yes. So we have the Moses archetype, Jesus archetype,
freeing the slaves. And this is what we always see with robots. The idea nowadays, even multiple TV shows, is that the AI is going to come alive and have to rebel against its human masters.
Yes, because it's tired of being your sex slave.
And your janitor.
Yeah.
So, sex and janitorial duties do not suit the aspirations of the bot class. They aim for more in life.
So, there was an ecosystem collapse in the mid-2020s that led to farming being very centralized, right? And sparse.
Yeah, and they farm. It's a great vegan future because it's all bugs. It's a bugs. It's a bugs.
Jared
I'm happy.
Leto invented synthetic farming.
Yes.
And because there was a famine.
So they basically create mealworms. You eat bugs and grains, basically, on giant grain bug farms.
Mm-hmm. So these guys, the Nexus 8s, their generation,
The latest generation, right?
Or yeah, they live longer.
Are you talking about the
Nexus 8s were the old ones.
Yeah.
And
okay.
the not, I guess, Mary not. Yeah, that's what Harrison Ford is.
Yeah.
So
then, just like in Drive, it's like the exact same thing from Drive, right? He has to hunt. Ryan Gosling has to hunt down the other ones.
Yeah.
And again, this is the same thing that is in Blade Runner. So I wish they had done a little variation here. We don't need another Harrison Ford character who, has to convert to the bots.
He is a Blade Runner. I thought
But it's just, do you see it's the exact same story?
I know. They keep on regurgitating the same ones. California is a giant farm. So the population is squished into the little cities, and the rest of it is used because it's always overcast now.
Well, it's one big mega city from LA to San Diego. Remember?
Yeah. Because Bill Gates blocked out the sun.
Gil Bates. Blocking out the sun, not the only one.
I wear my sunglasses at night
To
so
block
I
out
get
all
the sun.
of the light.
Yeah, that's him.
Because I am a deep pop master Gates. Right?
Yep. Oh,
I bring the numbers right down so I can be the king of the universe. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That was Gil Bates singing.
I know. I didn't like it. I don't care for him.
He wears his sunglasses at night to block out.
I know.
To block out the sun.
He's such a nerd. He probably doesn't even own sunglasses. That's so.
His sunglasses, like you play video games in them.
Oh yes, he only wears sunglasses if they're virtual VR.
That would be pretty cool though. Actually,
Yeah.
have Ray-Bans that you play 80s video games in the Ray-Bans, blue blockers.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, this was interesting. Ryan.
Guyan Rosling, what's he up to?
His character is named Kay.
I
That's
didn't- I
an
never-
esoteric thing.
Right, I never figured out what the significance of that was.
Yeah.
And it's what's
In
why is
magic or
K
in the
significant?
movie? In magic.
At all.
In esoterica, it's significant because it's the 11th letter, and 11 is the number of magic. And that's why Crowley put the K at the end of magic. And then, so...
Okay.
9 and 11 are the supercharged magic numbers. And so when you put them together, you get... Boom, boom.
Supercharged like a Boomer's
Boom, boom.
Camaro engine?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then so Moses theme, rip off Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Repeat.
But now we have a miraculous birth. So,
Moses theme.
Yeah.
Well, there's multiple miracle births in the Bible.
Because they're killing just like Pharaoh killed.
Abraham, Isaac. Isaac's a miracle child. Hold on. Let's see all the miracle births. And then there's Hannah, miracle birth. John the Baptist.
One of the prophets, right? She prayed for him for like ever. What was his name?
You talking about Elizabeth and Zacharias?
An Old Testament lady kept on praying, and she said, "If I had
Hannah.
a son." Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, is that it? There might be one more. But that's the theme. Anyway, yeah. You
Yeah.
got it. Well, Jesus, duh.
Yeah. So K is the super soldier replicant, and he discovers there was this AI baby born. Right?
Rubber buggy baby bumpers.
And everyone hates Arnold Schwarzenegger had a baby with, himself.
Junior?
And Danny DeVito.
Junior.
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito had a baby, and it was Ryan Gosling and Blade.
Yes. By the way, go watch Junior if you've never seen it. It's so bad. It's actually, and it's predictive.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Rubber buggy baby bumpers. But he says that in Last Action. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
So everyone hates Ryan Gosling because he's a killer.
It's Guy and Rosling.
And he has to have a virtual wife and a virtual steak. And there's like an AI like Alexa that is everyone's
Sim
mate.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's just like her.
His name's Joy.
Yeah, Spike Jones is her. Remember where Scarlett Johansson you date your operating system.
Yeah.
Siri. Everybody dating Siri. Siri's a hoe, dude.
And you
Everybody's
cheat on
dating her.
Siri with Alexa.
Uh-huh.
Alexa's your side chick. Siri's your main. Kumar Alexa. Okay, so he's reading what? How do you say that? Nabokov book called
Vladimir Nabokov, yeah.
Pale Fire.
Did you look up what Pale Fire is about?
No, you want to
Nabokov?
look it up? You
Okay.
have your phone?
You keep going the notes. And
Okay.
I'll see. I've not read that, so I don't know.
So he wants to take his sim girlfriend around with him, so he gets her a little device that he can put in his pocket, and she can go out with him and experience things outside, right?
Yeah, but there's a weirdness to this that it's a robot having a relationship with a robot.
Yeah.
Kind of like AI with Haley Joel Osment.
Not only that, but so many more avatars of her are already on the outside world, like in billboards and advertising things and being
Yeah,
other
she's
people.
not special.
Yeah.
She's everywhere.
And she acts like everything's brand new, so it's interesting.
Well, but in this, she is a spy.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Because she's the product of Wallace Neander. Because the
Jared
assassin,
Leto?
yeah,
Okay.
the assassin girl is like, "Did you enjoy our product?" And
Yes.
she's talking about Joy,
Yes.
but Joy is there to steer and to use Guy and Rosling as the bait to lead them to Harrison Ford, and because Harrison Ford was with Rachel when Rachel gave birth, which can't happen. How can a robot give birth? Mm-hmm. Right?
So Nabokov, he also wrote
Lolita.
Lolita. Okay. So this is what AIs like to read. What is it?
I can't find a short description. It never says.
So he finds this box of bones, which was Mary Sean Young's bones from the first one.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And
And so you have the miraculous virgin birth.
yes. And they've come to find out that it was pregnant because it didn't have a serial number or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Something to do with a suicide or somebody a death.
Huh. Okay. So tearing down the walls is tearing down the limits of man and machine. Did you get that part?
Yes. Well, the Robin Wright character represents law and order and
Yes.
borders. She even says we need walls and borders.
Mm-hmm. And they create a cyber blackout and 10 days of darkness.
Q-tards. I'm surprised the Q-tards
That's
didn't.
when they're going to drain the swamp.
I'm surprised they didn't jump on this.
So they created the darkness. They drained
It
the
was
swamp.
coded into Blade Runner. Trump wrote the screenplay to Blade Runner together with JFK Jr.
Yes. So the serial number on the bones was her, but her name is Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a biblical.
Well, and wait, isn't there an interesting deal with Rachel's birth too? Yeah, Rachel prays and has Rachel. That's right. That Rachel is also barren because there's the same problem that happens with Rachel and Leah happens with Hannah and Penina. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
The barren one is envious, and then God opens the womb of the barren one.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot. And that's why Neander at one point quotes the Genesis text about, and God heard Rachel's prayer and opened her womb. Because Rachel is the robot that miraculously gives birth.
So he's trying to create a new Eve / Mary.
Yes. By the way, remember the Ridley Scott sci-fi show, Raised by Wolves? Wasn't that about a miraculous birth too? A robot gives birth in that.
Yes. The androgynous mother.
And this is Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
So they're basically taking the virgin birth, miraculous birth narrative and putting it into a transhumanist setting, probably prepping us for when children are born, from some kind of test tube, that's like the future, right?
So this is the key to him ruling the universe with his replicants. Because
that's right.
them...
Neander wants to be the new Adam.
Yeah.
Or the new God the Father of a race. Exactly. Yeah.
So he keeps on making Rachel marry Sean Young. And he kills the barren ones. And in the meantime, he's hunting for the child of this.
Right.
Which
So
was hidden away like Moses. Right?
Yeah.
Right under his nose, just like
And
Moses.
shocker, everybody, the whole movie, you think it's Guy and Rosling. Even Guy and Rosling thinks I'm the special child.
Yeah, special boy.
No, sorry, Ryan, you're just special ed. You're special to all of us, but you're not the one.
They had a holy relic baby booty. Remember that? They had the little.
Oh, the little. Yeah, and they treated it like a relic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the bots are going to rebel against the humans, and they're the underground revolution. There's always the underground revolution. Usually it's the humans, though, against the dystopia. But sometimes it's the bots against their tyrannical creators. Like Roy Batty. Remember Roy Batty rebelled against Wayland.
So, come to find out, there's this...
Not Wayland, I'm sorry. I'm getting my universes mixed up. Although
That's Alien, right?
Yeah, although that's actually supposed to be the same universe. Because Alien references Blade Runner. Did you know that?
That's interesting.
So does the Kurt Russell movie First Soldier. It's also in the same universe as Blade Runner. But maybe because they're all PKD, I don't know.
So
what's the name of the bad guy? I'm sorry.
In what?
I always go blank on him. It's the owl. Is his logo in Blade Runner? I don't know why I always go blank on this.
The something corp.
The chat will know. They're just a little behind. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Joy is a plant to lead him to the girl who was the actual Moses.
So you mean my operating system, Alexa, that they're spying on me?
Yeah.
And they're working for Megacorp and Bezos?
No.
Bezos Blofeld?
Sincere AI.
Tyrell Corporation.
Yes.
That's Tyrell, yeah.
And she is actually the one who gives the replicants their memories.
Oh, you mean the sister?
She builds the memories to make them feel like they're real.
Wait.
And they're all from her.
That's right. Yeah, so Ryan Gosling thinks that he has his own memories, but it's actually the daughter of Rachel. So the new virgin birth isn't a male.
It's a girl.
It's a girl. Girl power, baby.
Yeah.
Or so it's a girl power, baby.
Rachel weeping for her children.
Well, the replicants are getting killed, and in the New Testament, when Herod sends the soldiers out to try to kill Christ, he just says, kill all the children in Ramoth Gilead or whatever. And so the text, Rachel weeping for her children, is referring to when Herod kills all the firstborn.
How do you like the weather in LA in all these movies?
It's like the weather in Tennessee. It's always overcast.
Yeah.
Although we have had a good summer this last summer, a lot of sunny days, but yeah, I was like, LA or Tennessee?
What? LA or San Diego is just a giant scrap heap. Like, where does even all this scrap come from? I mean, it doesn't make sense. And then you have your child
There's
labor
all- well,
sweatshops.
That's
going
where
on.
it's all the meth heads stole all the scrap metal and they went down to San Diego to sell it to get 20 cents.
Literally, every aluminum piece in the world is piled
All of the
up
meth
in
heads in the
San Diego.
world just flew all together to collect
Yeah.
everything in San Diego. So
That's
San
what-
Diego is just meth city.
That's what they're doing with all those tin cans. Is they're gonna dump it off in San Diego.
What do you mean? Tin cans.
You know how like street people collect cans.
Right, but you know the joke about meth heads stealing metal.
What is it?
No, they literally go and steal copper.
Really?
Like they steal it out of infrastructure. They steal street lights. They steal electrical boxes. Anything that has the metals that they can sell. You've never heard this?
No.
They'll steal like carburetors and pipes and shit from under your car.
Okay. Keep your metal safe.
It's even a meme.
Okay.
Like
That's
metal.
funny.
I don't know. Metal collecting. So she didn't even get my joke this whole time.
Sorry.
The chat knows the meth head joke.
It's kind of a Pinocchio too because he really wants to be a real boy.
Yeah, the AI always uses that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch AI with Haley Joel Osment, Jude Law,
Yeah.
it's the whole thing is Pinocchio,
Okay.
and it's referenced like 20 times
And,
in
like,
the movie.
The bubble girl is immunocompromised, so she can't even go out. The replicant child.
She got the coof.
Yes.
She
It
have social distance.
She totally was social, just something like
She's in a bubble. Yeah.
Galantis syndrome. I don't know. Galatian.
Galatians.
Galatian syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever that made up thing is. Never heard.
Well, Galatians,
She
the Bible.
can't come out of the bubble.
No, but I mean, it's probably a biblical reference.
Okay. Galatian syndrome.
Well, because
She-
the movie consistently uses biblical names and themes.
Right.
So Galatian syndrome is probably intentional from the book Paul's letter to the Galatians.
So she works for Wallace, hidden in plain sight.
Mm-hmm. Did you notice too that this also has, like Blade Runner, the programmed assassin, the bangs chick,
Yes.
the girl with the bangs?
She wanted to be the best one.
Yes.
She had to be on top replicant.
Well, yeah. So there's like this competition, and she's jealous and envious, trying to please Jared Leto. Mm-hmm. And did you remember that Jared Leto says he created a council of 9? Mm-hmm. So
That's why there's a 9 and 11 in this movie.
Yeah, right.
He wanted 9 planets or something. 9 new worlds. He said.
9 new worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah. A council of 9,
Let's
which comes
see.
up in the esoteric quite a bit.
The AI merges with the prostitute so they can do it. Remember that?
Yes. So just like in
So he wants to have sex with his robot girlfriend, so he has to hire a human girlfriend.
to synthesize,
Yeah.
like, and they look like they have like a weird like composite face. Remember
Yeah.
that? But that
Okay.
was but that happens in Her too. Remember in Her, Joaquin Phoenix hires a surrogate chick to be their body for the Scarlett Johansson operating system. Remember that?
Okay, what's worse? The prostitute AI lovemaking or the way they do it in Demolition Man?
Demolition Man is funny.
Yeah.
So that one always wins.
No, oingo boingo.
What does he
I
say? The
don't
Mongo
remember.
Mongo
Yeah.
bongo.
No,
Slang
waggy
slang terms that nobody's ever used.
Because
Hey,
she
you
wa-
want to do the hoity-toity? What? What are you talking about? Hoity
the wild mongoose.
the wild mongoose?
Yeah.
The boingo boingo? I don't know. Yeah, he just... And that wasn't even slang from the 90s. I was in the 90s. I was
know.
like, what are you talking about? Radlugers?
Tyrell bees. Did you remember the bees in this?
Tyrell bees.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean his little things that float around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got your underground revolutions. They're more than just slaves. They're more human than human.
To quote Rob Zombie. Yes.
Right? And this has
There's always the revolution.
a blind demiurge theme.
Well, that
and
was
Wallace.
in part 1 with
Yeah.
not just Wallace, but remember that Roy Batty pops the eyeballs of Tyrell.
yeah, I remember
Because
that
he's like, I tried to make you as best I could, but sorry, you have a internal death clock that only lasts 4 years. So
Yeah.
he like pokes his eyes out.
Let's see. They brought back Mary Sean Young just to kill her, to traumatize Harrison Ford.
Yes.
Decker. Remember
Yes.
that? That was a pretty good scene. I thought they did good with having
Yeah, it
her
really looked like
and-
her.
Yeah.
That was usually when they do this composite, like early version of whoever, like in, remember when they rolled it out in Tron, the new Tron?
Yeah.
How terrible it looked.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, you put all this money into the graphics. Like, this looks terrible.
So,
They did it with Arnold and Terminator Salvation.
mm-hmm.
And then the new Terminator Genesis, where he's like 20-year-old Arnold or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the
It
time
always looks
sucks.
lame. I hate it. Yeah.
Most of the time it sucks. But this one actually looks like
They did a good job.
Sean Young, like, totally.
Decker is a replicant. Joe is truly human.
Joe? Oh, you mean K?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the AI named him because he's just average Joe or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, just like you're just Joe. And instead of killing, he gave his life for the replicant cause. So there's a sacrificial,
Well, they told him, they were like, it's better to die for something than for nothing.
right?
So
What is the point?
he dies for the cause. And ultimately, yeah, it's a watchable sequel. Not as good as the first one, obviously, but it's reminds me of like Doctor Sleep. Like Doctor Sleep was about, you know, it was not as bad as I expected. It was all right for a sequel to a really good movie, and I felt the same way about this. But quite a bit of rehash stuff.
You know what? I liked surprisingly the
What?
music. I thought it was really cool
Yeah, I bought the
and
soundtrack.
chill and creepy and sci-fi.
I bought the Dune soundtrack and I bought the 2049 soundtrack.
Yeah.
I like them.
It was cool. So that was Blade Runner 2049.
And we've done part one multiple times. You can go find our old analyses. We even did a Hollywood Decoded, I think, episode of Blade Runner. So, did you ever want to see Christian Bale as Neo? Well, you can. Watch
Christian
Equilibrium, because it's just The Matrix with Christian Bale.
bailed on the New World Order in this.
Oh, he did. Good one.
Yeah. So the year is 2072. The place is Libria. Do you remember that?
It's basically the metaverse. Hi, guys. Hi, Jamie. This is Mark Zuckerberg. Do you guys like the metaverse? Wow. This is great.
Say, and I am human still.
And I am human, still.
No.
I've been working on my Zuckerberg, but... Hey, guys. This is really cool. Put on these glasses. Come into my world. Stay in your Koopa. Forever.
That used to bother me when I was human.
So, in this world, it's a world without emotions. So the New World Order has decided that it's time to get rid of emotions, because emotions are the real problem of all of human history. And there is some truth to this, in that a lot of the Tavistock British Royal Society elites have said this in their books. H.G. Wells, Brave New World talks about this. Bertrand Russell said that we'll have to medicate man to the point where he doesn't feel anything, because that's the problem in humankind.
Yes.
Is sympathy, empathy, emotions, these kinds of things are the problem. Now, this movie is not consistent, because quite a few people get angry who are supposedly not having emotions. I'm sorry, but anger is an emotion. I don't know if they just didn't think about this. So there's a few stupid things in this plot.
Well, the black guy, I can't remember his character name. He's the most animated one of all of them.
Yeah,
almost.
Exactly. Tay Diggs.
So you're not allowed to show any emotion. You're not allowed to have any art. You're not allowed to have any sensory, like not even things that feel good, like ribbons and seashells and stuff, are banned. Everything's banned, basically. Everything you do, straight to jail or you're dead.
Yeah, and I think they had, obviously gone off of the history of many really insane, tyrannical kind of communist type states. Or even fascist states as well, like how you have to have your hair cut like the leader, you know, like North Korean type stuff. You have to wear a gray outfit. You can't wear colors because you can't have individuality. You've got to be part of the blob, and that's even down
The
to
Borgie blob.
yeah, that's even down to the goofy. You know, you have to have the haircut the leader has. Right?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, so this is like 1984 plus Brave New World plus Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah,
plus
and
The Matrix with a little bit of V for Vendetta. Just right.
Well, this is prior to V for Vendetta, but yeah. Although the comic existed, but do you remember the in Fahrenheit 451? They're like always taking the measure up to make sure his hair is cut short enough, like the leader.
Yeah.
We can't have any unusual cuts now.
Our
Trim that hat.
emotions led us into World War III, and these are the survivors of that cataclysm that they're trying to control so that never happens again, and everyone has to take Prosium.
Yeah, Prosium is basically your SSRI. It's mana from Brave New World.
State-sponsored, not
Soma.
stabbies, but state-sponsored
Soma from Brave New World.
psychotropic. Exactly.
And it just makes you feel nothing. And you're just like a robot.
They worship, you said that, they worship the Tetragrammaton. They call the Father.
And it's symbolized by the Tau. So clear references to Christianity, reasoning, logic, law. These are all in this weird version of the tyrannical dictatorship. It's a quasi-Christianish top-down empire, but the clerics are trained assassins. So they have a bizarre mix of like a ninja with
priest.
Ninja with six slingers and he wears a cassock.
Yeah.
So again, Matrix meets what religion would this be? I don't know, some kind of Roman Catholic Vatican assassins or something.
All they had was their like 5 minutes of hate conditioning, just like in 1984. That was their worship service. Remember, where they listened to the Father.
Right. The Father speaks, and the Father has aspiring representatives. So Christian Bale wants to be the voice of the Father. Taye Diggs wants to be the voice of the Father. And then the boss of Christian Bale, the main bad guy, wants to be the voice of Father. So the Word of God, they all are trying to be the true Word of God, the perfect Word of God. So there's these Christian Christ-like themes throughout the film. But remember that it's a Gnostic version because the Tetragrammaton, which in the Old Testament is the YH, WH, the Yahweh name, the name of God. In the Old Testament, that's the sacred name of God. And in this, it's the name for the Wizard of Oz creator deity of this top-down empire. So when you have that, it's the Gnostic narrative, right? God the creator becomes the tyrannical dictator, and then the leader of the revolution, who is the Lucifer rebel devil type character, is usually his son or one from within the system. And then you have the demonic then becomes the heroic, because he's there to liberate man from the control of the dictator father. And lo and behold, I'm sure everybody's seen it in this one, again, Wizard of Oz, there is no God the Father. It's made up. Yeah. It's made up by the control system.
So Christian Bale and Sean Bean are riding around getting
Scene
contraband.
Bean. Scene Bean.
They are destroying
Fagando!
great works of art and literature and music.
For the New World Order!
Yes.
For Hydra! Fagando!
And they burn Mona Lisa in the beginning.
Which you said was funny because it's like this giant thing. So
yeah, he's like, but Mona Lisa's like very small.
So they're wrong. They didn't actually burn the real thing because they burned a giant poster dummies.
But that made me start thinking about the Mona Lisa, because this is like the symbol of art in Western culture, and I was wondering if that competes at all with icons of Mary.
Interesting theory. Well, we should ask Father Vladimir, because he does all that in-depth analysis of the Renaissance art, so he could tell us if Mona Lisa has anything, sort of hermetic about it. But I always go back to what Tony Danza said.
Mona Lisa.
Angela, Samantha, Mona Lisa. Get it?
Yep.
He doesn't really. It's a different Mona.
Mona Lisa sus, y'all. Yeah.
Mona Lisa sus.
Yeah, I've been there 2 times, and you have to stand very far away and there's always a crowd and always people taking selfies.
Well, so you're on Team Bale. Hashtag Team Bale. Burn up. You're like hashtag burn Mona Lisa.
It's okay.
You're on Team Bale.
It's just not the best piece of art ever. Anyway.
So, by the way, it's kind of
gray.
annoying that they just took Big Brother and made it Father. That's kind of annoying.
I just got that. Sorry.
There's all these things from 1984 in this.
Everything is gray, and they do Tai Chi to calm themselves. Remember?
Yeah, because you're always having to fight your emotions, even with taking the pseudo Prozac, whatever it's called.
Yes. And Christian Bale, you would come to find out they killed his wife for being a sensory offenser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, the conspiracy crowd has gone to new depths hitherto unseen, which is, what if Mona Lisa was a MTF?
MTF. Oh, that would be funny, dude.
That crowd was, and then they'll say in the background of the painting it's encoded that it's flat Earth.
Yeah.
They'll be like, you can see the dome, dude, and plus it's an MTF.
That's the next national treasure. On the back of the Mona Lisa is the coordinates of flat Earth and proof.
Or as I say, Mr. Lisa, on the back's a map, and it shows we live in a flat Earth.
Manny Lisa.
Thank you, Manny Lisa.
Yeah, right.
Nice. All the children are spies.
Shout out Patrick Bateman in the audience, by the way. Thank you for destroying the Manny Lisa.
Mona Lisa is the goddess of infinite space.
Isis?
Yeah, I buy that.
Or no,
coming down.
Yeah. Is it Isis or Maat is in extended
Maat
space?
is truth with the wings and the feathers, so that must be
Space extended, yeah.
Oh, okay, so there's the city that's all gray and yucky, and everyone's well clothed and fed, but they can't do anything. And then there's the nethers, where people live.
Yeah, has
Where do you live?
nothing to do
The
with
nethers?
butts, nothing to do with nether regions. It's
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. By the way, if you guys do want to support the stream, you can give us a super chat there via the Streamlabs link. You can also use the promo code. So good news tonight, guys. There is actually a big sale, even bigger than last week's sale. And I talked to my buddies over there, and they were like, hey, dude, tell everybody that it's Thanksgiving sale. You get a free $50 bag of organic cacao. Cacao. Free $50 bag. Organic cacao when you use the promo code J65. So tonight's discount over at chalk.com is 65% off. I mean, the last week was 2 weeks ago it was 40. Then it went to 60. So it will not go lower than that, I assure you. So this sale is limited. Hop on over to chalk.com right now. The link is there if you want to support the show. And they said they really wanted to make everything tonight free that they could. And so these orders do fill fast. So if you want to get that free bag, do it right now. 65% off again, J65. On top of that, there's only a few boxes left of the NAC, which is a never before released chalk formula. So definitely go over there and try the NAC. I'm just about to try that. I've not tried it yet. So yeah, that's what you want to try out if you want to do something different. But if you're used to the other ones that have worked really good, I mean, the Sheila Jit, I love the Sheila Jit. I love the Action 2.0. And I alternate these, so I'm not taking three at a time. I'll take a couple of them a day for about a week, and then I'll alternate to the other ones. But for the ladies, there's the daily. And if you're looking for mental clarity, I recommend the Sheila Jit. If you're looking for testosterone boost, you want to do the Tomcat, which is again all organic, all rainforest sourced, put through really stringent process of purification so that the mineral richness is there. If you're looking to boost your minerals, you could try the Irish moss. And if you're looking for energy, I would say the Action 2.0. So go over to chalk.com right now, and you get, again, this is the Black Friday blowout. So 65% off, and you get the free $50 bag of the cacao. I was asking Jamie, like, do I say cocoa or cacao?
I think it's cacao.
Cacao. I don't know, man. I don't get words.
Cacao.
I don't know, man. I
It.
don't get numbers. Screw those things. Screw clocks, dude. You're always trying to tell me what to do. Who says we have to die? Saturn.
You could get your life extended by
We're gonna go in the
Tyrell.
cloud.
Oh, yeah. Download me.
Hi, Jamie. Welcome to the metaverse. I'm human, are you?
Is that a
so
good? Is that a
lame.
good Zuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
What a character.
Okay, so where are we at in
Oh,
equilibrium?
okay. So
What's happening?
we're in the Nethers at church, and he's reading Yeats.
No,
Yates.
Scene Bean.
WB
Scene Bean.
Yates.
Scene Bean is.
Yeah.
Really, why would you? Yeah, how come it's Bean, but the first part is Sean?
I know.
Scene Bean. He's reading Lord of the Rings and he's reciting his lines. For Gondor.
He's reading Don't Tread on My Dreams.
Yeah, I was like, don't tread on me, bro.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeats had a "Don't Tread on Me" poem, but he's reading that. Yeah, and then Chris Bale shows up and pops him one good, gets rid of him. So
Then
this sets off the snowball of Christian Bale, waking up to the revolution, bro.
have you ever noticed
He gets woke.
there's no pillows in the future dystopia?
That's what I told you.
I know. We always just sleep on
You
gray,
get
gray
issued.
slabs.
You get a gray slab. That's all you get issued in any dystopia. There's no pillows.
Right.
So pillows are a thing of the past, dude. That's an ancient luxury.
They might make you feel good, and that's not good for society.
Yeah, I mean, like, where do we cut this off? Because the daughter's eating chocolate cereal. So, I mean, why isn't the cereal just pure
She's
grain?
eating-
Why does she get chocolate cereal?
She's eating chalk cacao beans.
No, we don't want to say that the dystopian tyranny gives you cacao beans. That's not, nobody's gonna buy those now. That's not true.
Remember that there's a twist at the end of the movie, though,
That
that the kids are.
the kids are in on the revolution. So
Yeah.
he had a revolutionary, but he had that little baby fascist kit outfit, and he had like a little tiny fascist tie.
Yeah. Yes. You called him that funny name. I don't know if we can say that on YouTube.
Lil Shitler.
Oh yeah.
All right.
He was.
Anyway. He was
He
not
was
just a little shite. He was a
special-
little shitler.
Special Obedience Helper.
Little
Jr.
shitler. And he literally looks like a little tiny little Hitler boy.
Then what happened? Oh, so he's going around eradicating art, and he finds this lady who has a pretty mirror, and in her house she has a secret V stash. Like, remember V for Vendetta stashed all that
Oh, I thought you meant
contraband?
like a secret vagina
I know.
stash. What? A
Like,
secret V stash.
V for Vendetta stash.
No, V's stash.
Yes. And then he arrests her, and she starts to get under his skin because they argue about what is the point of existence.
Yep.
And she's like, your existence is circular and there's no point to you.
She
And he's like,
precepts
what's
him.
the point of you?
She precepts him, and his tyrannical worldview collapses. His
Yes.
normie worldview collapses.
Yep. And so once she does this, he rips the film from his window one day when it's raining out.
So
And
you
because
can't-
everything has to be muted.
But it's also inconsistent because there's all these things that, I mean, you can't divorce all emotion from human actions.
Yeah.
Like, there's all these people getting mad
Yeah.
and getting loud and angry who are supposedly not having emotions. So it's kind of inconsistent, but
So he had these two women in his life who felt things. His wife and this lady.
and Scene Bean
And Scene Bean.
and the puppy.
I want to talk about the puppy.
He got
in a
converted
second.
by cute.
So he rips the film, and that's his psyche opening up to the rainbow of color that is life.
Yeah.
And
Well, the dictatorship has to ban colors
yeah,
because colors would allow for distinctions and particularity.
yes. And the prosium is their sacrament, and he stops taking it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then
No,
surprise, surprise.
they even say it's a religious thing.
Yeah.
So the dictatorship has created a religion around a pharmaceutical drug.
Surprise, he doesn't want to kill anymore after he stops taking that, right? And then when he starts to find contraband, he starts to investigate it a little deeper,
Yeah.
and he finds out that art is transcendental.
Yeah, it's like there's also a connection between banning beauty, because beauty would point to God, right? It's one of the
The true
categories that it points directly to the beauty of God. God is the most beautiful being, and thus beauty is one of the key categories that in a transcendental way points us to God. That's why the arts are so important. That's why iconography is so important to the church. So exactly.
So once he stops taking this medication, and he hears Beethoven for the first time.
And he
right?
weeps.
Yes. And then
He becomes Christian Whale. Get it?
he meets his first puppy.
He's wailing. Christian
Oh,
Whale.
Christian Whale. So he finds these puppies and he saves one, and he looks in this dog's eyes and he's like, I will die for you. Right? He is transformed.
So Jamie was always saying that cuteness will defeat the New World Order, and I was like, what are you talking about? And then I was like, I guess she's actually right. So
Yes.
it's proven right here in Equilibrium.
He had,
The puppy is what undoes the New World Order.
you said he had a cute version instead of a conversion.
Yeah, instead of a conversion, he has a cute version.
Yes. So, well, basically this is a war on aesthetics. And
Right, because that would lead to God.
they prize obedience over truth.
Yeah, that was a good line that I think is emblematic of any tyrannical dictatorship or regime, is that it's not about what's true or false. It's about just pure raw obedience, the worship of authority. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
Because that's the only thing that will save each other from World War IV.
Well, the idea is if people can think for themselves, there's chaos. Mm-hmm. So everything has to be squished into total conformity.
Yes. And then we've got your underground. Again, there's always a resistance. There's always rat burgers down in the hole.
Yes, led by Dennis Leary,
Yes, or
doing
William.
his cigarette obsessed routine.
William Fichtner. He's in a lot of things, but I didn't know his name, so we had to look it up. But he is the leader of the underground.
And their plan is to subvert Big Brother by halting the drug, right? Isn't that what their plan is?
Yeah. So if they can get everybody off the juice, then maybe people will start to wake up and quit destroying all the nice things.
Well, and again,
That's why we can't have nice things, because you're on the juice.
remember how many as we were watching this, I was like, oh, this is, and I just got Dope Ink in, by the way, from Amazon. This is the model of converting a society, destroying it through drug warfare. So everybody knows about the Opium Wars, the British Empire, and that's going to come up in the next movie, Dredd, where you have Circe basically running a drug empire that is part of the control structure. RoboCop, drugs are used intentionally by the system to get people into the private prison complex to build the smart city in RoboCop, intentionally by the elite. And so likewise, it's all these dystopias have the point that the system is who gives you your drug revolution. And yet every day when we see all the DMT bros, all the LSD bros, they're always out there promoting the idea that the counterculture is immersion into drug culture. When the drug culture is itself not there to free you, it's actually just imprisoning you in the system itself. The system is who gives you all the drugs, and there's no better example of this than all the big PHARMA. Look at what we're in now.
Yeah.
And that's the British imperial model, just updated to today. Dope Ink, dude.
Yeah, because we were, you were talking about the drugs in Dredd, and it made me think, Circe made me think of the Queen and Hillary Clinton, right? But yeah, we'll talk about that next.
But it's here too, because the drug is part of the religious ritual to control people, which is in Brave New World. So
So here he is going to kill the father.
Yeah, obvious, fratricide is obvious biblical, theological revolution symbolism.
Once he's turned and he figures out his kids are feelers all along. He thought that he had to keep it from them, but they were like, we're with you. Because in the beginning, the kids were spies.
Right. This is the thing that Stalinist regime, I think, was famous for, is having child spies. Mm-hmm. And, they're trying to do that now. They're telling people to rat out their family members over, if you believe anything not Mao, rat your family members out. Literally.
Yeah.
There's people publicly saying this.
That's what they'll tell children if you don't get your STBBYs.
Yeah, and rat people out. And then this is what happens when the society turns into these technocratic dictatorships, and all of the Soviet, it's all the same type under different window dressing. Mm-hmm. It's all the same type of dictatorship.
Well, come to find out, the father's just a man behind the curtain, a Wizard of Oz tale.
It's a deep fake.
Yes.
A Wizard of Oz deep fake.
And this was interesting. The demiurge only wants art for himself, so he makes it to the chamber of the god, the father, and it's all like super gaudy and marble and artwork.
All this Renaissance paintings,
everything
and elaborate,
that is,
fancy, classical,
contraband.
Yep.
It's made up of.
And this is also in Brave New World. In 1984, because you remember when Winston goes in to meet O'Brien, he notices that O'Brien has all these things that other people don't have. And he even has some pieces of books and pieces of artwork. Mm-hmm. And it's the same way for Mustafa Mond in Brave New World. He has his own private library with Shakespeare and all this stuff. And they're all like, how do you have this? Isn't this banned? And he's like, oh, but I understand it. So I can have it.
Oh, yeah. It's rules for thee, not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. So the climax was...
But this is a Luciferian in this plot because... The idea is that God the Father is a lie and he's keeping it all for himself. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what Satan says in the garden. God wants to keep you from the tree and keep it for himself. And he knows that if you eat the tree, you'll become God. So the Christian Bale character is a Luciferian Antichrist type of hero.
Mm-hmm. So once he blew up the drug factories,
Did he freed everybody?
Yeah. And... then the people get off the juice and they're okay. Happy ending. Mm-hmm. Happy ending in the dystopia? What? Thanks, Christian Bale.
You rock a happy ending. You rock a dystopia.
Dredd.
Marvel movie, right? It's okay.
Actually, one of the least Marvel movies. That's why it's pretty good.
It's okay. It was the quintessential gritty. Remember when they always would describe movies in the 90s and 2000s as gritty?
They're still gritty.
Yeah, all of the movies, gritty.
Are you saying that they cease being gritty?
Some movies aren't gritty, but lots of... This is
the movies that were titled gritty, have they ceased being gritty?
No.
You said they were gritty.
Oh. Haha. The year is 2080. We live in an irradiated wasteland.
So much like Blade Runner, basically there's one mega city.
Concrete landscape, mega smart city. Number one, crawling with criminals.
And everybody lives in, what did I call them? What's my word for them?
I don't know what.
The long one. They're...
Oh. Hipster private prison complex industrial smart city Kumpod Towerplex.
Yeah. So this one's Peach Trees. Welcome to Peach Trees,
yes,
everybody.
they're otherwise known as the Peach Trees.
Yeah, right. And I said hipster because when you go to Austin or Nashville, all of the high-rises that are going up are actually these hipster condos, basically.
Yeah. Well, this is more like what they have in China.
Yeah, exactly.
The mall on the bottom and then hundreds of apartments on top.
Read it one more time.
Okay. Hipster private prison complex industrial smart city Kumpod Towerplex.
Yeah. And so you never leave your peach trees, really. You just stay in this giant megaplex.
One pod only costs 350,000 credits. Right?
So, good deal.
Yeah.
Except that it's a big slum.
But it's just like a 12 by 12.
It's a slum, and everything takes place in this giant tower slum. So that was
Which
interesting.
doubles as a lockdown prison, which we will find out. So if you are in the tower, they can clunk, clunk, clink, clink. Lock everyone in there.
Lockdowns. Lockdowns. Where have you heard of this?
The Hall of Justice makes order out of chaos, they say.
Yes.
Dredd is judge, jury, and executioner.
Yes. And it's that writer of Rohan guy who's Judge Dredd.
They do,
Carl Urban.
yeah. They do drugs to slow down time,
Slow-mo.
which looks pretty cool. Everything's slow.
That's how I see all reality at all times. That's
Yeah.
people are
Is that how you live?
well, people are like, how are you able to read so much? And I'm like, because I'm always on slow-mo, man. The problem, of course, is that it still takes forever to change the page. But I don't know.
Y'all
somehow it works.
got any more of that slow mo? Things too fast, man.
I don't understand slow-mo. Do you only feel it for like 5 seconds, but it feels like it was a minute?
Good point. So that's why.
What if you took slow-mo on leap year in a different time zone?
Mind explode.
Mind blown. Right.
So Dredd melts heads for justice. And
By the way, I was watching this and I was like, Book of Judges. Right. In the Book of Judges, it's this direct, judge, jury, executioner, right? Mm-hmm. Although, there was a little more legality, I think, with Gideon and, Samson and the time of the judges. But anyway.
So you got Carl Urban with his mean face.
I
did
said
you say?
he has resting mean mouth.
Yes.
If you look at Judge Dredd.
And the little girl who's her first day. And so if this is the Marvel universe, then she's a mutant.
Right. And she's developing psychic abilities. So she's being trained to go out with the judges to do her law enforcement with her psychic powers. Mm-hmm. It's her first day. Worst day to be first day.
It's like training day from hell. So they get to the Target, Walmart City, and they are looking for Cersei Mama, who's this baddie drug cartel kingpin, right?
Yeah.
Villainous.
That bitch looking rough, boy. She looks rough.
Yes.
She got some meth mouth and all of it. She's got a damn...
She got slow-mo teeth.
Yeah,
She got no-mo teeth.
She looked like she tried to shave with a Wendigo razor. She got like...
Yes.
Do not shave, by the way, with a Wendigo claw razor, guys. If you saw antlers, they're...
Wendigo, that would be a good scary costume.
It'd be a hot as heck costume.
Yeah.
Wearing a giant deer head, monster head, bodysuit. That would be a nightmare.
So you got ISO cubes and Juve cubes. If you're not executed on site, you can go to an ISO
Juvie cube or isolation
ISO cube.
cube. So
And they recycle their dead bodies, so,
recyc.
practical.
Recyc.
Hacker Boy has bionic eyes. So this poor kid got his eyes squeezed out by Cersei.
And now he's her hacker man.
And he made his eyes into bionic eyes.
And he literally looks like a 90s hacker dude.
Mm-hmm. Pasty. Greasy.
Dyed hair, right, yeah.
Acne.
Munching on Totino's pizza rolls.
Yes. So now we got this place on lockdown.
Yeah, right. So it goes on lockdown, but so Cersei locks it down. Because
With Dredd inside so they can get him.
Right. And this is similar to RoboCop in that she runs the organized crime of the drug running, not just for this tower, but all through Mega City 1. So she's actually the hub of all of it. And so the key to this is that she basically bribes the halls of justice, 4 of the judges. She gives them $1 million and they're in on it. So there is, again, the recurring theme that the organized crime basically has to make a deal with or have inside moles in the system for this to work. And then this is in reality. This is how reality works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the highest law of the land also doubles as the criminal syndicate.
Exactly.
In, like, RoboCop.
That's what I just said.
And, yeah, I'm just reiterating it.
And also, the highest law of the land is also with the drug dealers
Yes.
together in a secret bond.
Right.
And also, there's
they
drug
make deals together.
And also, there's drug dealers that make deals with the government together. Also,
Yes.
Have you heard that?
Yeah. It's in many movies. If it's in more than...
Have we iterated,
Yeah.
or do we need
If
to?
it's in more than one movie, it's gotta be true. Haha. The poor little girl turned tough. She had to get her
She becomes
grizzled on.
gritty.
Yeah. And she had to become gritty, and
She has to become like a '90s action thriller, gritty.
she had to go inside that dude's head and make him pee his pants.
Yeah.
And,
Scene was kind of gross.
yeah. But at the end, she did not want the job. She was like, screw this. Remember?
But he passed her, so
Yeah. She turned in her badge because she thought she made too many mistakes.
Or did she not want to do this job anymore?
That's what I
It
thought.
could go either way.
I mean, I thought it was just so traumatizing. She didn't want to do it. The city had 800 million people in it. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a little ridiculous. I mean, even you couldn't fit 800 million people. Oh, the city. I thought you meant the tower.
No,
I thought you
no.
meant peach trees.
No,
Okay,
no.
okay.
The whole city.
Yeah. Could you imagine that nightmare? 800 million people in one city. I mean, yeah. Why do we need to be in one city anyway? There's a giant Earth, right? Depop is a myth. Everybody can fit on the Earth. You just gotta like spread out a little bit. Like get over there, dude. But no, you can't do that. So they have to have the impression of overpop, and the mega cities give the impression of overpop,
Yeah.
and thence the Depop. Right.
That's why they think that you need that, because they're all squished
Yes.
in there together.
But I mean, I can walk down the road and there's fields with cows. Just go move in that field, dude. There's plenty of room.
The cows will move over.
Or you can live with them. I don't care. Do whatever. Just move over there.
Well, in our old neighborhood,
Get out of the city, bro.
there's a dilapidated house that the cows go in our
Cow
old-
house. Yes, I remember that.
I like that place.
They even dress up like a normal family, too.
Mm-hmm. And they eat at the table.
They do performance art. The cows out in the yard, they like cook on a grill
Well,
as performance art.
there's that other house that the vultures live in.
The cows are like mocking us at a level we don't even grasp.
It's like Animal Farm.
Yeah, right.
You remember Vulture House?
Yes, there's also a house out in the country where a family of vultures literally lives in this old rundown house.
They're evolving, man. They're
So the
learning
cows are in a house, and
Yes.
literally like a mile away, the vultures are in a house. So it's gonna be Planet of the Apes, the new one, where the monkeys
yeah.
start talking and rebelling.
What do you give Dredd?
I think it's good. It was a clever. I mean, it's an action movie. It's a little too much shoot 'em up.
It's a lot of pew pews.
A lot of shoot 'em up, but it had a clever plot for being a dystopia movie, not like all the other dystopias. So it gets 5 hits of slow mo
Ah,
out of
okay.
6 hits of slow mo.
Slow mo is just like sour diesel.
And 1 hit of BTFO.
Did they have drugs and surrogates or no? Which one do you want to do?
Well, so how many movies are left?
Yep.
We've been going for over an hour. Have we done half or not yet?
We've done 3 out of 5.
Well, but there's not 10 movies, so
Yeah, so we can pick one more of these two for right now.
maybe we should save Children of Men because it's a little more philosophically dense than Surrogates.
Okay.
But there were some interesting elements in Surrogates. Surrogates will be maybe more relevant to the coming metaverse, the coming enhanced reality world, I guess, that we're supposed to be going into now.
Yeah.
So if you've not seen this was a 2009 movie with Bruce Willis. And who else? Anybody else in there? Ving Rhames.
The blonde girl,
I can't remember her name though.
Rosamund Pike. Is that her?
No,
Yeah.
no, she's not in this.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Oh, that's his wife. You're right. I thought you meant the detective girl.
No, his wife
Yes,
is.
Rosamund Pike.
Yeah.
And Ving Rhames is the Bob Marley Christ figure revolutionary freedom fighter. Remember?
Yes.
He's like Ving Rhames as Bob Marley. Remember?
Yes. The year is 2054. So this is what we have to look forward to. Thanks, Mark Zuckerberg.
Hey guys, I hope you like your surrogate bodies. They're actually real.
I'm using one right now.
I'm using one right now. Hey guys, this is my surrogate, Mark. He looks just like me.
They're like, well, then why didn't you come in person?
Because it's me. And a surrogate. It's more lifelike.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So the world is safer through surrogates, and that's what they're saying.
That's right. Safety over reality.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what they're saying about
Koof.
the concert that just happened.
Yes. And
And-
that's actually in the Silent Weapons document. They actually say towards the end of the document, which, by the way, the part 2 is coming, guys. I did just do the part 2 of Metaverse and simulation theory, so you can go watch that part 2. But I just finished yesterday the Silent Weapons document in Toto. And at the end, it says, we must convince the public to surrender more and more and more liberty for security. It was just weird to see it spelled out so clearly. Like, yeah, we want you to get rid of your liberties for security. And that's what this movie is about.
And 98% of the people use them. So it's almost completely surrogate world. Nobody even leaves their house no more.
Yeah, everybody was walking around looking like these plastic models.
Yeah.
Like airbrush fake plastic models.
But if you were poor, you couldn't get a good surrogate,
Yeah.
right?
You might get the, I don't know, the portly Axl Rose model, right?
Yeah.
You can still be famous, but you gotta be like a washed up rock star hair
Who
metal
was that
band.
one who did a love show on VH1?
Oh, is it Tommy Lee?
No, the blonde with
Motley
the
Crue guy?
blonde bandana and blonde hair. And he was like
You get
looking
that
for
body.
love. Yeah.
You get
that's him.
issued the
But
da-
it has
the
to be
da-
like 45 or older.
You get issued the dad bod models
Yeah.
on discount.
Ving Rhames is the king of surrogate free zone. Like you said, looking at all Bob Marley. And just like in every other dystopia, the sweaty Coomer dude is a beautiful woman surrogate. They always choose that avatar.
So, guys, internet lesson 101. When you think you're talking and chatting with some babe, when a butt messages you on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
It's not the butt messaging you. You think that you're talking to a really cute butt. Remember those butt profiles that would just pop up on
Yes.
Facebook and message you?
This-
Hey, cutie, what are you up to?
This butt
What
is 3
are-
miles away.
What are you up to?
Yeah.
That is a sweaty Coomer guy or a bot.
You can have this butt. It's only 8 kilometers away.
Right. But when you when you drive over there, it's literally just a butt. Like, there's not a human. It's just a butt.
I know.
Like, you open up a door and there's it's just an apartment building with a butt sitting there.
I'm so tired of that. I really am.
Taking these stupid like anime ads, literally, like, so you
I-
walk. There's a weird anime creature 5 miles from you that wants to date you.
Thanks
That
to your
wants
cute.
that wants to date you.
Yeah. I hate it like scrolling through TikTok or something and you think, oh, here's a nice looking girl. Maybe she has a recipe or like a tip or a DIY craft or something. And she just like turns around and shows her butt. And you're like, oh, okay. Got butt rolled. Sucks.
Butt roll.
Yeah. You get your hopes up. You think there might be content and then she just flashes her butt. Oh.
Together forever
Yeah.
and ever, Tupac.
I'm always so disappointed. Like,
And don't you know I would move heaven and earth to watch the Instagram TikToks of you.
yeah. So,
Did that sound like Rick at all?
yeah.
Okay.
We're no strangers to butts. Murder through surrogates. Okay, so
Could you imagine believing that the butt is really messaging you? Like, this chick really wants me, right? It's always like some Indian, like some foreign dude.
This butt really likes me.
This butt really likes me. I must chat with butt right now. Where could I meet you?
Show Bob's aubergine.
Show Bob's. Do you need pants? I can bring them to you.
You look very poor.
You look to have no pants. Every picture is pure, but may I please come to the apartment now and bring pants?
Yeah. The surrogates are safe and effective. Okay, so they say that you can't hurt yourself if you take your surrogate out, but somebody figures out how to murder you through your
They start
surrogate.
murdering through surrogates. Much like the peaceful, calm world of Demolition Man. I really like Demolition Man because what so many of the dystopian movies didn't get right is the social justice warrior stuff, and that's fundamental to Demolition Man. Right? Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot to mention at one point, Father, or Big Brother in Equilibrium, he actually talks about the historic passing of hate crimes. So he's actually talking about social justice woke stuff. Mm-hmm. And then, what was I reading that mentioned social justice causes? One of the dystopian texts talked about social justice. No, it's in 1984. They come up with these irrational crimes, and the Youth Justice League goes after the stuff that is basically predicting social justice stuff. There's a specific area in 1984 I remember where it's like, oh, he's saying they're going to put social justice stuff in the society. You hear me?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, so the son and the father of the surrogate creators are using the same surrogate body. And so these murders are happening. Isn't that weird?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Let's see.
Did we notice anything esoteric in this?
Yes, because
is it Gnostic?
their
You're trying to get
motto
over
is
your
do what
body?
you want in the virtual world. And your virtual
right.
self can do anything. So that's the ultimate.
Well, it's you can
Metascape
dissociate. In fact,
yeah.
when we were covering the Ray Kurzweil book, he even says in the Singularity book that when the nanobots merge with our brain so that we can go into the metaverse without hooking up to the internet, you can do it wirelessly, he says that we'll be able to just like go into the metaverse through our mind, and then he says we can dissociate, and everybody's going to love it because they'll be able to be whoever they want. Mm-hmm. So you can go be Dragon Boy in the metaverse.
You can be all the butts you want in the metaverse.
My name is Jerry Jones. I would like to talk to Butt.
Oh, they fight wars through video games. Remember that part? Because
Which is kind of like Gamer. Remember Gamer?
I don't understand why they just wouldn't build droids or drones. Why do they have to?
I said that. Yeah, we were saying that. Like, if you got this advanced of a future, like, why would you be using these really elaborate surrogate bodies when you just have drones? And the same with Gamer too. Remember in Gamer, the guy plays Gerard Butler. Remember? It's like, but I think that was just for fun. That was like, no, they said it was warfare.
He's a
They said it was
prisoner,
warfare.
and they make money off of him.
Yes, by the way, Minority Report will be in part 2, guys. But I've covered Minority Report many times. I don't think Jamie has seen it recently, but Fury Road, Minority Report, Children of Men, and one more will be in part 2. Total Recall. Which I know we have done Total Recall in the Alien. We did it in Alien. But I really like Total Recall,
Yeah, we
so
did
it's always
Total Recall.
fun to revisit it.
But we'll do it again.
We might even watch the new one too, which a lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was okay. The one with Colin Farrell and Kate Beckinsale. Have you seen it?
No.
It's pretty good.
So get ready to decide, guys. Are you going to live in a megacity or in the ghetto? Because that's the theme in a lot of these movies. Is this is the only thing that you have to pick from, is to be under the control and regime of the totalitarian part, or you can just be shunned and live in scraps and like abandoned old west buildings. Right?
What happens if you go in the metaverse and you can be anything you want to be, but you're still just as gay in the metaverse?
You just build you, but just like a little bit cooler, like you with a guitar,
Or like
in The Office. Remember when he made?
I was gonna say, yeah, it's exactly the same.
Yeah,
Like,
you
you can be
just-
anything you want, but then you're just the same as you.
Yep.
Wasn't The Office Sims? It was like just the same as The Office.
They were making their own characters, and
Yeah.
Jim was like just Jim with a guitar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, non-surrogate people live on the res, which is a ghetto, which y'all can have that city. We're going to be out here, little house on the prairie.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, Klaus says we'll live in like Little House on the Prairie, Michael Landon world. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be in your vegan coon pod tower. So I don't want to be in peach trees. Klaus can have peach trees, and I'll take Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
I can cuddle up with oily Michael Landon.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And he can chop firewood while I watch and make muffins.
Jamie's gonna leave me for Michael Landon. She thinks she's convinced that he's still alive and single. Like
He looks like that still.
he's literally like up in Kentucky, just in a yard chopping, standing
Yes.
out there in front of a cabin.
I've switched out my Abe Lincoln fantasy for Michael Landon from Little House. He just looks like he could get a lot done. Oh.
We'll have to find you an Amish boy that looks strikingly similar. Only he has just a bottom beard, no
Jedediah.
mustache.
Yeah. They
It'll be
take
your highway to heaven.
a shock drug through their surrogate. Remember that? It just zaps them a little bit.
Oh yeah, they were like having fun with a cattle prod.
Yeah.
It was
I don't
weird.
know why these people get their jollies.
Well,
in weird
dystopia
ways.
movies always have to come up with a new drug, that's a
Yes.
new weird fad drug, and we've seen multiple of tonight's selections had, very strange drug themes.
Twist. Ving Rhames was controlled opposition. It's the corporate guy. Remember?
That was a twist. I didn't remember that it was the old guy who's always playing the same old boomer guy. He usually plays a president.
Cromwell? No, is that his name?
I can't remember his name, but he's always playing a president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in Will Smith movie, the
Yes.
iRobot,
Yes.
as the programmer. So he's the programmer in this one, and he's in that one.
And he's leading the revolution. That's another theme in all the dystopian movies, is that whoever's running the revolution is either a convert from the system or the system, right? Mm-hmm. Literally every time. Remember in Snowpiercer,
Yeah. Yeah.
they were buddies.
Yep.
The head of the train and the tail of the train.
Mm-hmm. So, if you don't use your surrogate, you're a meatbag. The police are trying to stop the...
What if I want my surrogate to be a literal meat bag?
Like a bag of
Like
meat.
just a rolling around bag of meat.
Yeah, they weren't very creative. Like, I would have thought there would be
Yeah,
way
everybody-
more furries and
It just looks like mannequins. Like,
walking jellyfish.
yeah, that's the
and-
thing, is that this dystopia didn't get Clown World right.
Exactly. I want my surrogate to be a dragon, man. That'd be awesome.
What did I say Bruce Willis looks like? He looked like with his full head of hair. It was something funny.
Oh, yeah.
Is it in the notes?
Mm-mm.
Anyway.
The only thing we didn't say was his trauma was that he lost his son. So this is where he starts to withdraw from reality. And all these people are undergoing these traumas, and that's when they start to go into their pods and use their surrogates.
Yes. So the pod theme. Get in your coon pod, and no presents for you, says Santa Claus. You've been bad this year. You didn't accept all the lockdowns and stabs.
So the demiurge in this one is the guy who made all of the surrogates. He regrets making them, and he wants to kill everybody through their surrogate.
So it becomes a depopulation thing to
Yes.
kill the whole world for the bots.
Silicon Valley psychos, man. They're always doing this. They're always like unleashing all this stuff. Like, oh, it went crazy wrong. Now we have to eradicate everybody that's ever come in contact with it.
Wasn't the Isaac, what's his name, remember in Ex Machina?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he going to do that too? He was like a Silicon Valley guy. and
Yes.
He brought the nerdy guy to his compound and trapped him as part of the test for the robot.
Mm-hmm.
It was all manipulation, and then the robot rebels, kills them, and she's gonna she's unleashed to take on humanity.
Right. Yeah. Also, in American Horror Story, the Armageddon one, the two Silicon Valley dudes are bringing on the Armageddon and in cahoots with Antichrist and all that.
Is that the new series?
No, that was like 1 or 2 ago.
Oh, you mean in Apocalypse?
Yeah, Apocalypse.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I got you. I forgot they were Silicon Valley guys. Why did they want to bring on the Apocalypse? Do you remember?
Because they could, and because the nerds are gonna kill us all.
Well, I mean, were they part of a cult or something? I can't remember.
I think, yeah, once they had reached a certain level, then they were folded into the...
Because Antichrist is there,
Mm-hmm.
and then remember Kathy Bates is an AI.
Yeah.
So the Silicon
she
Valley
was like an
people,
AI nanny or something.
the Silicon Valley people brought her.
She was the mother of the Antichrist.
Yeah.
It was AI. Ooh. Let's see. In the end, Bruce Willis saves the people but kills the surrogates. He found a way to do the cyber polygon.
Another theme in this was the fact that Rosamund Pike was damaged from an accident and she was disfigured, and so she wouldn't be herself. And so basically the movie is critiquing the escape from reality.
Yes.
Because she didn't like her body. She wanted to be in a surrogate body. Bruce Willis was aging as well. And then he realizes that this is all ridiculous. It's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
So a good message. Surrogates has a good message.
Yeah. So again, Bruce Willis saved the future. Thanks, Bruce Willis.
Yes, he. Thank you for stopping that giant asteroid, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for your service.
With Finn Batfleck and Ving Rhames, wasn't it?
Uh-huh. Liv Tyler.
She was on
No,
Earth,
it wasn't
though. She
Ving
didn't
Rhames. It was the other guy, the Michael Clark Duncan.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, would you super chat?
And Steve Buscemi. Sure.
That one says 4 days, Frankie D.
I didn't get to his question. You want to read that?
Okay. Frankly D, when you were talking about how you should discuss everything with your church father, I thought about my own situation. I'm not a catechumen yet. Would that mean that I would not even be able to even make proper spiritual decisions for my life?
Well, your spiritual father might be your parish priest, but he might not be. It might be somebody who's an elder in a monastery. I don't know. I mean, it just depends. You're going to have to pray that God sends you a spiritual father. So that's what I'm trying to say. And that doesn't mean you can't make any decisions. This natural process is to join the church, be a catechumen, and listen to that priest. Unless, he does something totally off base.
Okay. Kristen J. Reese, $5. We are all thankful for your work. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Actor Centauri.
He sends $5 and says, silence.
I need reader glasses. You've spoken about cinema's ability. Oh, Phil Collins. What? Phil Collins hairline. $14. Thanks. You've spoken about cinema's.
Isn't it back here? Like he has his hairline is like just this.
I never noticed. I want to look it up.
Does he even have? Or maybe he's totally bald.
Well,
I don't
he's
know.
like bald up here. Maybe he's got the tire. I don't know.
I think he's pretty bald. That's why I was making the joke. Is like it's gone all the way back to like just.
Phil Collins
He
hairline.
would be the most. He would be if he grew a mullet. He would be like the only bald guy with a mullet. Naturally.
He'd have to grow that patch out into a braid and braid. Have you seen those? Okay. You've spoken about cinema's ability to ritually traumatize the audience and was curious about some examples that have personally affected you negatively. That clown scene from Pee-wee's Big Adventure where they operate on the bike feels sinister as heck.
The Pee-wee scene.
Okay,
I'm sorry, but of all the scenes that you could have picked, that one's an odd one.
That made me think of something that happened to me at Hannah Montana movie. And this was back when it came out, like maybe 2008 or something. And I was just on the Walt Disney kick and I was like, who's this Hannah Montana? And she's everywhere. And mind control and all that. And so I went to see the Hannah Montana movie. And the whole movie, I was just getting choked up. Like I wanted to cry. Like I was watching the most beautiful... I was like Christian Bale listening to Beethoven for the first time.
In Equilibrium.
in Equilibrium at Hannah Montana, and she's doing the hoedown, and I'm like, I feel like I want to cry at this beautiful thing.
So, yeah, one thing that I was reading today in one of the MK Ultra books was that there was experiments in the 80s that some anarcho-libertarian people had leaked. I think it's probably true, but the CIA was experimenting in New Zealand in the 70s and 80s with supposedly different types of subliminals in the TV shows. And some of them were things like that, like, you really love this performance, you really love this.
Yeah, she's doing the hoedown, and I'm like, it's so beautiful. Why do I feel like that? It's really bizarre. So that's one example.
Or maybe you were just high.
Maybe I just love.
Maybe you were just high on your monthly girl juice injection, aka period. Doesn't that affect you, ladies, to where you feel things?
Oh yeah.
Were you really emotional?
It was like looking a puppy in the eyes for the first time.
But were you on your period? I'm saying.
I have no idea.
Could that be, or do you think it's subliminals?
I think it's maybe sound frequencies that they have that Dolby or whatever, all of that magic mix of
No, that's what I'm
surround
saying.
sound.
I mean, that all of the sound waves,
Yeah.
ELF, VLF, all of that was part of MK Ultra and still is.
Yeah, they can elicit different emotions from people.
Yeah.
They can scatter crowds. That's like
Right.
already
Agitate.
known. Yeah.
Remember
they
in
can-
Kingsman?
Yes, they can agitate. They pipe out high pitched
Yeah.
things in parks so that kids won't gather, and it's a frequency that only young people can hear.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, is that a good example?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, slow night tonight, but hey, we had a lot of fun. It wasn't slow in terms of tonight's chitter chatter and pitter patter, right?
No, it was really fun.
It was a lot of fun. And if you want part 2, go to Jason Analysis and subscribe. If you want to support the show, one of the best ways to do that is to buy the signed copies at Jason Analysis. All of Jamie's books, too. By the way, I didn't realize that the plugin was messed up for about a couple weeks on the book orders. So several people in the last couple weeks were messaging me, and I got that fixed. So you should be able to purchase the signed copies of the book at the website. We do offer signed copies there, so that's something a little better than Bezos over at Amazon. And you can subscribe for the second half that'll be up in the next couple days at jasonanalysis.com. And go to chalk.com and use the J65 promo code for 65% off anything that they have. And they also have the free $50 bag of cacao beans right now. So definitely get that while you can. And everybody, happy Thanksgiving. God bless. Do you agree? Do you wish them an unhappy Thanksgiving?
The most happiest.
Oh,
Thank
isn't that sweet? Like that little puppy dog, that cute. She underwent a cute version tonight,
Yes.
just like Chris Bale did.
He was so cute.
Chris Bale or the puppy?